this is Kay, and this is my first attempt at a video on cooking. And today we're going to make what my family calls quesalisa. It is a Czech sausage and potato soup. And basically, this is all you need. So we've got some chicken broth, some sauerkraut, a link of sausage, preferably Polish sausage, 3 to 5 large russet potatoes. And we are going to start by having some water in a big soup pot. And we're going to act just like we're making mashed potatoes. We're going to peel these things, chop them into 1-inch size pieces, and we're going to cook them until they're falling apart. And feel free to have plenty of water. I'm actually going to add some chicken broth in there too. And so we'll come back to you when we're done with that. All right, so I've got my potatoes and lots of broth here. So thoroughly covered. It's about half chicken broth and half water. And when I pull out the potatoes, they easily pierce with a fork and kind of fall apart. So we are ready for the next step. So I'm going to go ahead and put my sausage in there. Most of the flavor from the soup comes from the sausage. So you want to get a good flavorful sausage, and if you want more flavor, then you can use more sausage. So I'm just going to put that there. It's still on about medium, so it's still cooking. It'll warm up pretty quickly. Meanwhile, we're going to make a slurry with some broth. I've had it out for a while, and it's cooled down. And we're going to add some flour to it. And so for a lot of people, they haven't seen this technique. It used to be used a lot for thickening soups and sauces. We've got all sorts of chemical additives we use these days. So I'm just going to put about 4 tablespoons of flour in here, and I've got a couple of cups of water. If you have a small whisk or a fork, that's a good idea. And we're just looking to mix it all up. And the more flour you use, the thicker your soup's going to be. Now, it's also going to thicken as it cooks and as you keep it in the fridge for leftovers. So I'm going to put about 4 more tablespoons in here because I've got quite a bit of broth in this soup. And if you want to make sure you don't have any lumps, there's a few things you want to do. You can put this into the soup through a sieve to make sure and drain out any of the lumps of flour. Also, you want to make sure that your soup is not boiling. So I'm going to turn this down to low. And also, like I said, the sausage seasons most of your soup. But if you want to add black pepper is very traditional, or any other flavors that you might. And one of the other main flavors we're going to have is we're going to have some sauerkraut in just a bit. So I've got this mixed together. If you use less broth, of course, it'll be thicker. And we can always pull out more broth and add more flour to it if we want it thicker. I'm just going to pour this in here because I'm not picky if I have a couple of lumps. It's pretty well stirred. And you want to stir it gently as you pour. It's not boiling. And there's some sludge at the bottom. I'm not going to pour in there because that sounds like a bad idea. So keep in mind, like I said, as this cooks and as you have it in the fridge and such, it is going to thicken. But think about how thick you want the soup. My family usually has it pretty thick. When we pull it out of the fridge, it looks like Jell-O with potatoes and sausage in it. But it's up to you on how thick you want to make it. The sauerkraut is the other flavoring agent in our soup. And if you have somebody in your household that doesn't like sauerkraut, you're going to add it at the very last minute, basically when you turn off your heat. So you can always put it at the side and people can add how much sauerkraut they want. Or if you don't have any sauerkraut handy, you can put a jar of pickles next to your soup and people can add pickle juice and to their liking as they're getting their own bowl of soup. So basically that's it. This is a Czech soup we called quesalisa. It is a sausage, potato, and sauerkraut soup. Enjoy.